There we go. Okay, maybe others will jump on. But either way, I'm going to mute here, everybody, because it's just easier. And then we'll save the questions for at the end if we have any questions. But I have felt like I haven't been the training that I've been doing has helped me realize big time some things that we've done, especially people who've been in the business for a long time, that we were doing that we don't need to be doing anymore. And it's come to my attention, even, I've had a couple of coaches reach out to me and say how they just don't feel comfortable with, posting the Beachbody stuff and their fitness journey and that kind of stuff. And they're not finding their passion in the business. And that just blew my mind when I was getting a few messages that said that they weren't living their passion with this business, because that made me realize, oh my gosh, I'm not training you guys well enough, because what you should be doing with this business is living through your passion. And that's going to bring who you want into your life, into your team, into your business, by living out your passion. And so that's where I felt the need to get on here and talk to you guys about this, because I feel like it's super important that you guys are being true to yourself with this. And if you feel uncomfortable with this business, it's because you're not being true to yourself. So I want to just talk to you guys tonight. I'm not going to give you, like steps or anything like that. And some people might need that. And if you need that, go to the Beachbody Challenge or Beachbody Champions page, and there's trainings like crazy in there, and they're amazing. So if you want more step-by-step stuff, perfect. Here's the deal. If you want this business to work, and you don't want to be all up in your warm market, you guys, I don't even reach out to warm market people ever. I don't. They're not who I want to attract. And if they want help, they know where to go. I've been here 7 years. I show up they know that I'm doing the work behind the scenes. So if they want help, they're going to come to me. So lose your warm market. If you're a new coach, you want to tap into your warm market a little bit, but still the things that I'm going to reach out to you tonight with are going to be, it's going to be a breath of fresh air. So I've also gotten messages from coaches saying how they hate sending cold messages. You shouldn't even be sending cold messages. And that's what I want to go over. So right now, social media outlets are all about giving value and being yourself. If you throw out a business pitch out there, or if you throw out like a challenge group pitch, it's not going to be seen in your newsfeed. It just won't be. They are valuing, Facebook is going back to, and so is Instagram, is going back to actually being connected with people and sharing yourself and really building friendships and that kind of stuff. So what I've been doing lately, and it's been helping so much, and I think if you went to any top coaches, you'd be surprised. If you go to top coaches pages, they don't post a ton anymore. I don't know if you guys have noticed. They're not posting 3 to 5 times like we were told to do. They're not doing that. They post once a day. A couple times maybe on a really good day, they'll do maybe a couple posts, but they're doing like 1 quality post a day. And that's easy to do, you guys. But here's the kicker. Your quality post has to be about you. It has to be about where you're at in life, not fitness wise. I'm not talking Beachbody wise. Like, get Beachbody out of your head. We're talking you. What are you passionate about? And that's, oh, the dog just farted and it smells so gross. He literally came in here, farted, and left. Like, "Huh, mom? That's what you get for hiding in the room." But that's what's important right now is truly figuring out what you're about. And so, Josh had me and the kids over to see their baby goats. What, yesterday was that? Yeah, yesterday. And I told him, I'm like, oh my God, like you could just by putting these animals, they were like the cutest animals, all the cows and everything. I said, by putting this out on your Instagram page, like you would attract so many people that, are in the same boat as you. And he's like, it's not my passion, it's my mom's. But like I told him, it's where he's at in life right now. It's, he's helping his mom with the farm and that kind of stuff. And so that's an important part to share because it's where you're at in life. Like even when I was breastfeeding, I shared a ton about breastfeeding. It's where I was at in life. When Gabby went through eating, like her introducing foods and that kind of stuff, I shared that because that's where I was in life. And that's where social media is right now. That is where we need to be right now, is sharing who you are, because that's who you want to attract. So on your social media platform, you need to pick 5 things that you're about, and stick to those 5 things. And really, you don't even need 5. You don't need to have the 5. Oh, do you really have to come up by me? You better not fart again. You want to say hi? He's like, what are you doing? But you have to pick those things that you want. So for me, if you, and this is more geared towards Instagram, and you guys, Instagram is where it's at. You just have to figure it out, and you have to build your page, and that's where it's at, is on Instagram. And so while you're posting on Instagram, you want to make sure that if somebody's going to go to your page, that they're going to be like, oh, I get this girl. Like, I know what she's about. And that is where it's key, is you want to have your posts clean. So for me, I have on there that I'm a foodie, that, what else? I don't even know, that I have a potty mouth, that I'm a mom, a wife, and that we love the outdoors, and that I'm a puppy mom. So those are just a few. I don't know exactly how it goes. But so for me, if I do a picture, and I use the same filters. So if I do the picture of the food, then next will be like a picture of my kids, or like a funny meme of kids, or the dog, or, like I go in different, so it's not like my kids, all at the same point, or all, one after another. It's mixed in there. So people are going to see the different me's, but they're going to come to my page when they're attracted to me for one of those reasons. So if they're working on a stronger marriage and they want to follow me for that, then they'll see like, oh, okay, there's her and her husband a lot. But if you're posting pictures of something you're not all about, then it's going to be really confusing. Or if you're posting pictures, say, of your niece or of some random person, they're going to be like, who the hell is that person? So you have to make sure that your page is really clean and clear, but it's you. So as soon as you cut out the beach body language, the sweaty selfies, the Shakeology cup, that's when things truly start to happen in your business. And it's because you're being authentically you. And that's super important, is to really be authentically you. So how do you invite and how do you reach out to these people where it's not uncomfortable then? That's through your stories. You have to be using your stories. If you want to see if you want your stuff to come across anywhere on social media, you have to be using your stories. And your story should be about your life, but the raw moments of your life. So I don't know if any of you guys follow me on Instagram, and saw Rudy the other night, like literally doing hot laps around my crazy house. And it was just me and him, and he was doing hot laps around it. That's my life, and that's part of my daily thing. But it's also important to give value. So I'll do a couple of my workouts, the invitations in there. Brooke does a really good job of doing invites in her Instagram stories. Haley whatever her name is, Christensen. She is amazing, or Christian, whatever it is. I can't remember. She's on, she was on the Empower call with Team Go Getters. If you haven't listened to that, you need to listen to that because that was great. And if you follow her on Instagram, she does the same stories every single day. It is the same exact thing every single day, you know, little changes or different scenery, but it's the same thing over and over and over again. That's where the invites happen, because when you see who's watching your story, they're getting to know you guys. So for those of you who have been a coach for a while, it used to take, I know Josh for sure, we used to sit in Facebook and go back and forth, building these relationships for a long time before we felt comfortable ever inviting. Sorry, I've been getting tickles in my throat lately. I'm gonna get another one. So when you're watching these stories, I mean, the people that are watching your stories, they're watching you for a reason. Okay, they're interested in what you're doing. Those are the people that you're going to invite, and it's not going to come off as weird because they're watching you. They see what you're doing. They know that you're doing a workout program. So if you're like, hey girl, I see you watching me, or hey, I see you watching me, why don't you jump in our next accountability group? Always looking for another partner. Like, that's as simple as it is. And it doesn't come off salesy at all. So this is where I want you guys, like, if you're not happy working this business, it's because you're not putting your passion out there. You're not being your true self in this business. And when you get people in challenge groups, you're supposed to make them fun and get down to what you like to do. You know, don't copy what I do as in a challenge group. Don't copy what other coaches do. Be you in this business. So many people try and take exactly what somebody else is doing where it comes off fake. Oh, Brooke is doing it this way. I'm going to do it exactly this way. You guys, you and Brooke are, you know, different people. Myself and Brooke are different people. You have to figure out what works for you. Look at the top coaches that, like, the things that, so Micah Folsom, one of the top coaches, she lives and breathes by that power hour. Now Haley, she does the gangster rap connections. So you have to find what works for you, and you have to do that. And that's what's key in this business, is being you and doing something you enjoy. And so if oh my gosh. Oh, that tickle won't go away. I should go get water. So that's the important step. So you really need to figure out who you are. Now, fitness might really be a big part of your life. And for me, like, that's where I'm at. I'm CrossFitting. I'm lifting heavy with ADD Obsession. And a lot of people follow me for my fitness posts. So yes, I do post about fitness. But what I have, like, okay, if I was just starting out my journey, and with coaching, because back when I started, it was different. Social media was different. And I literally failed forward. Like, I'm embarrassed at how I posted when I go through Facebook memories. Would not post like that. But now I wouldn't share a bunch of fitness stuff because I'm on my journey. You know, like, if it was when I was just starting, you have to look at it as, you know, do I have the right information at that time? You know, once you get into your journey, if it becomes a part of you that way, then it's important for you to share that. And that's why your interests are always going to be changing. They're always going to be transforming into different things. You're going to be at different stages of life, and that will be what you'll share about. But you have to figure out who you are, and you're not Shakeology. You're not. So don't post pictures of Shakeology, you know, of your Shakeology cup or of Energize or that kind of stuff. Don't post that stuff. Now, I mean, once in a while you can post like a recipe or something like that, but you make it look pretty, and you know, you have good information behind it. So there's value behind it. you can put your Shakeology every day, you making it in your stories, but you don't want to post about it. You don't want to have, that post. And that's where we want to give the daily things that we do in your story. And that's where you want to share your fitness. So transformations, awesome. Put them in your stories. Congrats to whoever, challenge. You can do somebody from our team, from challenge groups, but those go in your story. You do transformation pictures in your story and you just give shout outs to them. Shout outs are huge in your stories. And same with coaches, coach shout outs, those go in your stories. The posting, you want to keep personal. You want to keep you so that you can attract those vibe. And of course, like, hey, it's your business. So if you want to run it differently than I do, by all means, do that. But it's super important that you find what you're passionate about and lose the Beachbody language. Just lose it. You are not Beachbody. And I'm pretty sure if you go through all those, if you're on the Beachbody Champions page, they'll let you know, like, you're not Beachbody. It's a part of you. So you want to share who you are. And that's the biggest thing right now, is what you're passionate about. So if you're passionate about photography, by all means, use that. Use that. If you're passionate about, let's see, Josh with Tough Mudders, figure out how you can use that and really dial in, whether it's like trainings or the food you eat for triathlon or for Tough Mudders triathlons, any of that kind of stuff, like the food that fuels it, post, pre, like there's lots of value that you can give for that. And then you tie in other things with it that you're passionate about. You're really passionate with personal development, having personal development quotes out there. But here's the key. You want them the same font, the same like background. And for me, like, I'm more of a black, like if you looked at my closet, okay, let's just say this. When I do laundry, when the whites come out, it's all my clothes. And when the blacks come out, it's all my clothes, because it's all gray, white, black. Occasionally a color in there, but not really. Not very often. Those are my colors. So for me, like, it's like a white background with black lettering, and I see that it pops for me. So I want to attract the other people who are like me, and they're going to be simple. They're not going to be all colorful and and bright and that, and because that's different personalities. So you want to attract, or you want to put out those quotes on that. So put out quotes for it if you're into personal development. For me, I'm going to focus mine on like the crazy mom memes, like things that are funny, because that's where I'm at right now. I mean, literally the other day we got home, was it last night? And Gabby laid down on the floor by Rudy and she goes, "You're not an asshole, Rudy." And it's because I kept calling it that when he would get into stuff. So that's just where I'm at in my life. It's that funny stage. It's where my kids are little stinkers. And so those are the memes that I'm going to be posting, because I want to attract those moms who are at that same level with me, with the funny kids stuff that goes on. Let's see. What other things? Mindy always used to talk about horseback riding, just to throw some, if you're passionate about that, then that needs to be shared, but they have to be pretty pictures, like almost staged. You go out and outside right now where we are, like, it's not really pretty. The spring's not that pretty because it's dirty, and so you have to get creative with it, and you have to do different angles. And if you can find somebody locally to go out with you and take some pictures of you doing different things, you can bring different changes of clothes, and you can do it all in one day. Now for me, I love our bathroom floor, and this might be gross to you guys, but I love my bathroom floor. I love the color and the wood and all that. So what I do with my food is I put it on a white plate, and I put that on my floor in my bathroom when I take pictures of my food. And it's just because I love the way that the white plate looks with the flooring. And so I want to keep that consistent. Is it in my stories? No, it's a hot mess in my stories because I'm a hot mess and I want to attract hot mess. But I want it to be nice and clean on my social media outlets. I want it to be nice and clean so that it's well viewed, so people can see it. They can see what my page is about. So I'm consistent with that now, and I'm just transferring over to all this and the consistency with it, but it's really helping. And even when I go to my page, I'm not overwhelmed, so you want to go to your page and you want to look at it. And I had my sister, she's Abby's 18, and I had her go through and I had her write out things that she thought I was about. And so that we could compare, because I wanted somebody close to me, because sometimes I feel like we don't even know who we are. So if we ask somebody that's close to us, hey, if you had to describe me, what are some words that you describe me, or what my interests are? And so she helped me, and she helped me figure out my Instagram. And then I told her to, okay, go through my Instagram, and whatever you feel like doesn't fit in to what we categorized myself as, then we need to delete it. So she went through and she deleted it for me. Everything that she didn't feel like was me. And I mean, she didn't go way deep, but at least so viewing wise right away. So now I can focus on those clean cut interests for myself. So that's basically what I wanted to talk about. And I didn't want to be long or anything. I just want you guys to know that it's important that you live your passion, and people are going to come to you because of that reason. Okay. It doesn't matter what you're passionate about in life. It really doesn't. Health is important. Health is important for everybody. We have the best workouts in the whole, out there. We do. And with having on demand, it is the easiest way to get your workouts in each day. And working out is essential for everybody. And Shakeology, if people don't want Shakeology, that's fine. The Performance Line is my jam. Pre-workout, I cannot live without that stuff. And recovery, the one day I didn't take it after CrossFit, I could not walk for 3 days straight. My calves hurt so bad. I always take it no matter what after all my 80-day obsession workouts and normally CrossFit. But at the last Friday, I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of feel good. I'm not going to take it. Well, that was the worst thing I could have ever done, because that was the source I've been in months. And that's because I've been taking my recovery after every workout. So for me, a lot of my go-to to my clients is the Energize and the recovery, the Performance Line, because as a mom, I love the Energize. And so I help other people with that too. So if they're not about the Shakeology, that's fine. Don't push it on them. Just get them on the Performance Line and send them a sample of Shakeology. And I can tell you though, thank you, Josh, for being my savior, because I was out for 4 days with Shakeology, and it got to a point where I was like, is Shakeology really helping me? I've been drinking it for 7.5 years. Is it still helping me? Those 4 days, I ate half of my birthday cake by myself. I ate a Snickers from the drawer. And I'm not even on my period. That's how bad my cravings were horrible. Dan's like, dude, Liz, your mood, something's got to give. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, it's because I haven't been having my Shakeology. So now I'm back on it and I feel a lot better. I still was really lethargic today. So I'm hoping that tomorrow will be better since I had it today. But use those, you guys. Use those things to help. Oh, I don't know if I was presenting to everybody. That's okay. To help with that. But does anybody have any questions? I don't want to keep it forever, but just seeing. Okay, Melissa.
So posting, you think just 1 or 2 times a day, but then the stories for everything else?
Yes.
I still don't really get what they are. I mean, I've been dabbling with them a little bit here this past week, but how do you invite with just a quick story? I've seen what is her name? Nikki. I've seen Nikki's tons of times, but there's a lot of lettering and stuff on all over on there. So is it mostly about going lives, little lives?
you can do lives, you can do letterings, you can do like the pictures with the words on it. I mean, you can do whatever. But you can just do like little, you don't even have to do lives. You can just do like the little hold it while you talk, and then send that one, and then hold it while you talk again and send that one. You make it your own. That's more you, because you have to figure out, what works best for you. A lot of times, like, I have chaos in the background, and so I don't want to, be live. So I'll just do the writing on my photos. So after a workout, I'll be like, why haven't you joined me? Or, why haven't you joined us, or whatever on it. Or I'll do like a transformation picture to shout out somebody in my challenge group. And then after, I'll be like, there's still room to join, or why haven't you jumped in with us? Swipe up if you want to jump in, those types of things.
I have already been not posting about Beachbody stuff for a while. And so lately I get people who get kind of mad because they find out it costs money. They just think it's like some random thing that I do for free for everybody. You know what I mean? And I don't know if anybody else has had that issue when you transition over, but I mean, obviously move on to the next one. I just thought it was odd. Maybe I'm not being direct enough, or I don't want to be fooling people into what they think I do, I guess. They don't think I'm affiliated with anything, which is good.
Yeah.
Right?
You might be beating around the bush a little bit. And I used to do that too, where it was like, oh, I don't know, is this the right time? Like, do I ask them this? Where for me, I'm just like, I'm like, how would you like, or would it be of value to you to have access to all these workouts online? Or would it be better to have, the workouts on DVD at home?
Yeah, you're right. I am beating around the bush. Totally. Yeah, I get it. I got to move that, I guess.
Yeah, and it takes practice.
I would talk to people for like 2 hours. And Brooke's like, no, don't do that.
No.
And I didn't know how to be like, come up with it. And yes, I was beating around the bush about it. I didn't want to be so direct, but maybe I just need to be direct.
Yeah, no, you want to be direct, because otherwise what happens is you waste 2 hours talking to somebody, and then they're like, what? This costs money? Yeah. Where if you're just like, hey, this is what I did, because they're coming to you because they want what you're doing, or they want the results that you have, or whatever the case is. Well, how did you get them? Like, you share how you did that right away and be upfront with them. And I still, like, today I sent out, the pricing for it, and they're like, they didn't reply back, so I get that still. Everybody does, but you get better at it by just going out there and sharing.
I did the suggested video that you did on Instagram. I mean, obviously you can look up, but do you have anything off the top of your head that might be the next step to learn about Instagram, or just check the champions page, or anything that specifically helped you?
I would go to the champion. Was that one on stories?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can't remember because I've watched so many Instagram trainings lately. I would go into the champions page and I would just search Instagram. And then they've done a lot even the last few days, or like the last couple weeks. There's been a lot in there on Instagram, and I would just go through, and there's different people running it different ways. So you can go through and you can watch a few different ones and see how they're doing it. But I would really dial into Instagram because I feel like that's a huge outlet. But the big thing is the stories. That's the big thing.
Cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody else have questions? Josh?
All right. So my question is this. So we got Instagram stories, Facebook stories, and Snapchat. You just make one picture and then just use the same picture for all three?
For the most part, yep.
Okay. Yeah, it seems okay. I know from Instagram you can send it to your Facebook stories, but I wasn't sure if that was a good idea.
No, you can, and that would be fine. I haven't set mine up as a business page yet. I don't know why. Okay. I just haven't.
When you send it from Instagram to Facebook, it doesn't get your audience changes. It narrows your audience down to, like, I think just your friends. So, but I'm open. Like, I don't know what it's called. on Facebook. Anybody can see my stuff.
Are you talking about the post, or are you talking about Instagram stories?
No. I'm
Facebook
talking
stories.
about just when you're posting on Instagram, just as a post, you can click to put it down and post your Facebook for you.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. That won't show up.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. Josh is talking about, hi Gabs. Josh is talking about you can have it where your Instagram stories are linked to Facebook stories.
Oh, okay.
So when you post on Instagram stories, it goes right to your Facebook stories, so that you don't have to do each outlet. Because he's talking about having Snapchat, having Instagram stories, and Facebook stories. And that's where he asked why are you throwing things? Mom's on a call.
Mommy,
What?
bro.
Yeah, it did. I wonder why it broke. Maybe because you chucked it up in the air. This is my life, you guys. But so yes, for the most part, I just copy the picture that I post on either Instagram, and I'll do the same lettering and everything. So if I do one on Instagram, on Instagram or Snapchat, those are usually like my first one that I do. Then I'll copy it and I'll put it on Facebook or Instagram. But honestly, like a lot of times I forget about the Facebook, and I've just been doing more Snapchat and Instagram. And then with Facebook, I feel like Instagram stories are where it's at more as Facebook stories. I don't feel like people watch Facebook. And here's the deal, you guys. With Facebook, it's more personal. Like, it's more personal. So if you feel like there's going to be more judgment and you're nervous with the judgment and you don't like that part, go to Instagram, because that's literally like Facebook. It is a little bit more judgy because you have a lot of your friends and your family on it. Where Instagram, you can reach out more. So what I did was I hired my sister just because I guess I can. And it will save me time, and I have more time and energy to put in other areas. But I hired my sister to actually go, and I gave her a list of hashtags. So what I did was I went on Google and I searched popular hashtags for moms, and I did popular hashtags for puppy moms. Like the things that I'm about, I Google searched hashtags. Now, I didn't take the most popular ones. I took the ones that are like me, because if you go through a lot of hashtags, a lot of Beachbody coaches use. You guys, why is everybody in this room? Mom's on a call.
I'm trying to fix the clicker.
Oh. And they don't move. Like, that's how much they respect their mom. Get out of here, all of you.
I'm trying to fix this clicker.
Do it downstairs.
Mom, is there a clicker in here?
We still love you.
Yeah. I don't love them right now. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Mace. He gave me a look. But so then what my sister does is she goes through those hashtags that I gave her, and she finds people who are like me, and she follows them. And then there's an app, I don't remember what it's called. I can get you guys the information. It's for unfollowing people who don't follow you. So if you follow them and they don't follow you, then you can then it will unfollow them. And so she'll be using that app to do that as well. But that way I have her go through and search different people, and it takes her time. And that's why I have her do it. But that's just where I am in my business, where I'm able to do that. If, for you guys, at least do 5 a day. At least do 5 a day and be consistent with it. Consistency is key. And if you can do 5 a day, that's awesome. If you want to do more, then do more. But it's all about the quality of people who you're following. That's the most important thing. And making sure that they're like you. For instance, I beforehand was just following random people. And I posted during this past hunting season when my kids shot a partridge and he was holding it up. I'll proud, or my husband did or whatever, and the kids were holding it up proud. Well, I had somebody who is a big animal lover, and that didn't go over very well. But she's not my person, so it was easy to say, peace out. Sorry, you know, that's how we live. We'd rather, you know, harvest our own food than buy from the market. Like, that's how we live. So whatever. But it was a big deal. So you want to make sure that you're attracting people who are truly like you, so that you don't have to deal with stuff like that. Any other questions? Does that help you guys a little bit? Okay, Sheila.
Yeah.
Okay, so on Instagram, I get a lot of people that'll like the post and start to follow me, but they're all fitness people. So are you saying that maybe I need to, or I definitely need to start trying to follow people that aren't necessarily fitness and more me without the fitness?
Yep. So,
Okay.
For instance, what are some characteristics about yourself, or some hobbies? And it doesn't have to be like I'm telling you guys, the hobbies don't have to be health related. Like Melissa Puhela, she started following me because I liked beer, you guys. I liked beer. That's why she started following me. So don't worry about, you know, it's being true to yourself. What's the coach? Is it? It's not Josh Spencer. Maybe it is. No. It's one of the male coaches. He literally built his business, and he's in the $1 million around beer. And it was about beer and his love for beer. So really find out who you are and post those things. And I know sometimes we feel like we're boring, but people like to live a boring lifestyle. They do. They want simplicity. So just figure out, you know, those things that you're about, or the things that you want to be. You know, if you want, like for me, when I was like thriving, like I wanted just to have a strong marriage, I read tons of marriage books, like tons of them. And so I posted all the time about that, and I attracted more people who were working on their marriage, and then my marriage started to thrive with it. And so that's something, you know, if you're working toward something too, you can always use that as well. Debt free, like those are things that people follow for.
Okay.
I feel like it's okay.
I like doing darts.
I always see your dart. I always see your dart posts. So you just have to make it so the thing about like the darts is when you're playing, it's probably dark in there. You know what I mean? Like, so it's hard to take really good pictures, and that's where it's hard, you know, to have those nice, clean, crisp pictures for people to see.
Right.
I feel like for me, it's okay to post about health stuff because I'm trying to work with people who have, diseases and illnesses like me, and trying to see if they can start changing their diet and some very light movement. It's not even Beachbody movement because they're even lower than that level. So I made some videos like chair exercises and stuff like that, so that they're only like 10 minutes, so they can do them really quickly. And I don't know, they follow me. A lot of them can't do what I do, but they follow me and they enjoy those posts. So I don't know if I should be doing them or shouldn't. Or I don't do any really fitness stuff. I just call it movement, a lot of stretching, light yoga kind of thing.
It's what your interests are. So if that's something that you are passionate about, and that, you know, then post about it for sure. That's where it doesn't have to be a specific thing. And I'm not going to tell somebody not to post something, but make sure that you're comfortable with it. If it makes you uncomfortable, I mean, of course, like uncomfortable is good too. So I'm not going to tell you not to be uncomfortable, but you want to be comfortable with who you are and posting those things with it. Like posting a transformation picture. Yes, that's uncomfortable, but it's supposed to be. And you can still throw up those transformation pictures every once in a while too, but mostly in your stories. But you can weed it into your posts as well. Like
I used to try too hard, I think. It seemed like everybody I talked to, I was like Shakeology, workouts, And when I stopped doing that is when the last couple months, gotten into the SC part and everything else. So
yep, it's not.
I'm happy.
You've been doing awesome. Like Sheila's hit Success Club every month so far, and she's brought on, I mean, what, 4 coaches this year already?
Mhm.
So she's been doing really good with that because, and your posts, like you look at them and they're not Beachbody related anymore. They're really not. I mean, occasionally it's weaned, like, but yeah, you're not being out front like that. So that's awesome. That it's actually, you know, showing that you can see it, that you're being more yourself and it's all coming to you because of that. And the hardest thing is finding what you're passionate about and being yourself.
Getting away from the 12 people in my house right now.
Mm.
That's my passion.
I have a lot of negativity around me, like not in our household, but our family's going through a lot, our outer family, and we're the stable ones. So everybody comes to us and it's like, holy crap, like my shoulders can't take much more. Even my husband's like, we're not even going to say those names, like, of the people struggling for like 3 days because we have to have enough for a little bit. So I get it.
And my foster kids, my 13-year-old, oh my gosh, I don't know what he's going through, but it is wearing me down.
You know what? My advice to you is to have a mom and son date. Go out, do something together. Because whenever mine is like that, we've actually opened up communication wise with him and said, hey, you have to communicate with us. And normally it's when Dan's on like his 4 days or his 4 nights or where he's gone a lot and he's not home. That's when he starts to really act out. But whenever he starts to act out, we're like, all right, one-on-one time, let's go. You know, we'll go to a restaurant with him, or we'll just go for a ride, take him grocery shopping, just one-on-one, whatever the case is. But it helps so much and it makes them open up a little bit. So that might help.
Yeah. I was raised that you don't reward the behaviors, but I'm learning now that sometimes, just like you said, go do something with them. You may feel like you're rewarding them, but they're reaching out to you for something, you know. Yeah. They're crying for some kind of, so.
Nowadays it seems like kids act out for attention because our attention's going in so many different ways that they act out now to get the attention instead of, you know, communicating. Right. Kids don't know how to communicate anymore. So it's important that we teach them how to communicate by taking them out of that situation that they were in, telling them that it still wasn't okay and that, you know, you need to communicate when you need my attention, but just doing that, it seemed to help us.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions here? I don't want to leave it so it goes on, but I'm glad that we got on Zoom.
Thank you. Probably the best stuff I've heard in months, I guess.
And you, like, I'm telling you, go into that. If you, like, I still think you should be reading personal development or listening to personal development, but at least once a week, if not more, go into the Beachbody Champions page and watch some trainings on what you feel like you need training on. So if you feel like you need training on, you know, helping your coaches, or if you feel like you need training on Instagram or recruiting or whatever it is, go to that page and search it. Search it in the bar and go and look at the stuff that you feel like you need more work on, and that will help you, and it will help you grow too, and you get more out of it. If you do YouTube stuff, so I used to YouTube all the time, different trainings, make sure it's of like 2017, nowhere before that, because you guys, social media changes so much. And so it's hard to watch something, you know, even from the beginning of 2017 to now, a year ago, that's a lot of different, you know, that's a whole year difference. That's a lot in social media world. So make sure that it's more current information than it is not. But all right, I'm going to end it here. If you guys have more questions, just private message me and we'll answer them, or do it in the team page actually, so that everybody can see them. That way, if they have the same questions, I'm not answering it for everybody. All right. So everybody take care, and we will chat more next week.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.